So Gaffer, we're sat here ahead of Weymouth visiting Meadow Park on Tuesday evening, but we'll touch on the Eastleigh result on Saturday. Leading the game 1-0, and we started the game fairly bright. Ends up being a disappointing result with Eastleigh getting the winner in the 90th minute, and it's starting to sound a bit like a broken record, but goals really do change games.
100%. We've had an honesty session today as a group because I felt it was needed. Spoke about their opinions on things, my opinions on things. Been really productive. We all know that we don't score enough goals. We're trying to find a solution for that problem. We're addressing what the strikers want, how they want to be fed. Set pieces need to improve, and like you said, we started the game really bright. For 25 minutes I thought we was on the front foot. I think we pressed them with an intent. We got right up the pitch in terms of our units, and I think we scored a goal and we come off the gas, and that's something that we've addressed and spoken about. Then you concede the equaliser and you think, okay, if you can't win a game of football, most definitely don't lose it. The manner in which we've conceded that goal late on is comical. It's not good, it's disappointing, and that's something that we've addressed and spoken about. Like you said, it's a running theme now. We need to ensure that when we're on top and we're having our moments, we need to score. And that's something that, like I said, I keep using the word, addressed today with a group. We've spoken about it. We've given my opinion, their opinion, the group's opinion. And I think we've addressed quite a few issues. And I'm hoping to see a reaction come Weymouth tomorrow evening.
So quick turnaround, as you allude to. 3 days after, we now take on Weymouth at Meadow Park. Does this give you in the dressing room the perfect opportunity to put Saturday's disappointment behind you?
Without even thinking, I love the fact that it's Saturday, Tuesday, because we've got a squad there that's competitive. I like the fact that if you do lose a game, you're not waiting a whole week. You're trying to park the result Saturday with a positive win on Tuesday evening. It's a close turnaround. You're in football for a reason, to play football matches. I don't care if you're a player, you don't want to train, you want to be out on the pitch playing football matches where it means something. So we're looking forward to Weymouth coming to town. They're a good outfit. Their league position, since the time we should have played them prior to Christmas, they've made 7 changes. 7 changes. One of them involves the kid at Aston Villa that played in the FA Cup against Liverpool. So they're a different beast, totally different beast in terms of their personnel that they've got available to them. The likes of Dallas up top, the likes of Revan, Mensah, 2 centre-halves. I think Brooks is a very productive fullback. I like Ngala, I like McCarthy centre of the park. He has a manner, the way they play, there's a style of play. I think Hartlepool were very dominant in their performance against them, and they was unfortunate not to win a game of football. But for me, looking at what they did against Aldershot, how they performed against Notts County, they're a team that are on the up, and I believe they're going to be a tough test, and we need to ensure that we're right on it come Tuesday. So
before we look at and focus on Weymouth and what they have to offer, just a quick question in regards to the vote/resolution that's come onto the agenda this week. The National League clubs are due to vote on the resolution to the end of the season. For you personally as a football manager, how difficult is it for you to prepare game to game with that in the back of yours and the players' minds?
A short answer, it isn't. I'd love to be able to have the excuse that that's the reason why we've not won in 4, but it's not. There's no excuses. We're going week to week. We're in an environment that's safe. That's been led by the chairman. We're preparing every game as if the season's continuing. What that looks like come today, tomorrow, the vote, we'll then decide as a group, being myself, Charlie, the chairman, what's best suits this football club. Spoke about it, the caveat, the EFL, all the things that come with this decision will impact what we say and how we go about our business. In terms of your question, it hasn't. We're a club that's focused in finishing the National League. We're a club that's going game by game. We're a club that's done everything to keep its staff, its players, everyone safe, and that's not changed. And we need to ensure that we pick up a win against Weymouth, and come what may, the decisions from the National League and the clubs within it. And like I said, that'll be for us to discuss and talk with regards to what best suits this football club, and that's the main aim.
So just on that as well, is it important for you as a manager, with this sort of uncertainty in the players' minds, in the back of your mind, that a decision is made and made sooner rather than later? Firstly, because then you know what you're working with in terms of the squad, but also in terms of recruitment. We've spoken recent weeks about bringing people into the building, but I guess with that doubt in your mind and in the chairman's mind, it's putting some uncertainty on whether you should be bringing new people into the building with a possible curtailment of the season on the cards.
You said about uncertainty, yeah. I've got to have it in my head that we're continuing, but you hear whispers, players talk, and they're talking when they're walking in and around the car park and onto the facility to train. So there's a lot of hearsay. For us, you said it, we spoke yesterday about 3 or 4 bits of personnel that we want to get in the building, and I've said it now, how many times have I said it in 3 or 4 interviews that we're looking at bringing 2 or 3 in, 2 or 3 in, 2 or 3 in. I'm not in a position where if the curtailment of this league and they null and void it, and I'm going to my chairman to open up his checkbook to sign 2 or 3 bits of quality, I can't do that as a manager. I've got to respect what this football club does for its community, what its history it's had, and if I go and say I need him, and then the league null and void, that's unfair. So it is tough. Them sides for me, for yourself, talking and trying to find solutions for our issues at the minute, but we don't know from 1 minute to the next. There's so many outs. I've spoken to so many managers. I know the chairman's spoken to so many chairman and director of footballs across the leagues, and everyone's coming up with a different permutation. So for me, the league needs to come out, make a stance, give us an answer, what we're doing and what that looks like, so people can react and then move forward.
So slightly off topic of that pessimistic stance in regard to that vote and resolution, but and now focus turns to football on Tuesday evening at Meadow Park, and we welcome Weymouth. As you alluded to, they're third from bottom, but they're starting to pick up a bit of momentum and a bit of form. 2 wins from their last 3 games. They seem like they're a side on the up, as you mentioned.
100%. Obviously, he's like Kings Lynn. Early on, Kings Lynn, I remember speaking to Ian Culverhouse and he was saying, I've got to get adjusted to the level, and I think they've done that, and they changed their personnel, a little bit of their style. I think you look at Weymouth, it's a hard one because we were quite consistent with the team that we wheeled out in our first year in the National League, and do you feel that you give them an opportunity because they got you to that level? And you're looking at their team now, like I said, they made 7 changes in their last 4 games, and they're now getting to a side that's a little bit more consistent. They have a manner of playing. Yes, Aldershot had a man sent off, their goalkeeper sent off after 15-20 minutes, and they had the lion's share of the possession, but you can see against Hartlepool, Notts County, against Torquay, as you alluded to, they have a way of playing. If they get into their rhythm, they're good. They have good deliveries from either foot of Harfield and Shields. They got good workman-like performances in McCarthy and McCoy. They just brought in Dallas, the kiddie on loan from Cambridge United that is currently 2-3. They're a different beast. They are. And I allude to it. I don't care who you are, no matter who you're facing in the National League, you need to ensure you're right on your job. And I spoke to the group today, I'll be honest. I said to them, you go to Bromley, you go to Torquay, you go to Stockport, you go to Hartlepool, you go to Notts County, you pick up 11 points in 5 games. Where's the mindset when Eastleigh come to town, Dagenham come to town, Altrincham come to town? Because no disrespect, even if we pick up 2 wins and a draw, or a win, draw and a draw, we're a lot better off than what we would have been if with them 3 losses. So a mindset, a mentality on our part needs to improve. No matter who comes to town or wherever we travel, we need to ensure that we're right on our game. So for me, Weymouth, I said to the boys, underestimate them at your peril, because I've witnessed them and I've watched them. They will cause you problems if you allow them to. If you stick to the game plan, you stick to what's being asked of you, you can get right after them, and that's something that we'll be looking to do on Tuesday.
So you mentioned it a couple of times in their style of play. I can only imagine, given the style of play of Mark Mosley when he was there previously, and Brian Stock coming from the same sort of background as him, that it's going to be an expansive game of football where they try and play, and they'll try and get players into attacking positions and try to have youthfulness and pace and technical players all around the pitch.
100%. They split the box as you do. Fullbacks go high, rotation in midfield. They collapse in from their wide areas to allow their fullbacks to get on. They've got progressive fullbacks in Harfield and Brooks. They've got a great relationship, Harfield, Shields and Luke and Brooks. They both come in. They're a good team. They're a very good team. You don't get back-to-back promotions. You don't go and compete against the teams that you spoke about being a bad team. Brian Stock was always the one that used to handle the ball, used to tick it over, so I can imagine that's the style that he wants to implement. For us, no disrespect to Weymouth, we need to do what we do and how we do it to our best ability. And I think we can cause them problems. And I spoke about it. No matter who comes to town, where do we travel to, we need to have the mindset that we're ruthless, we're relentless. We know on Saturday we had 2 opportunities prior to their goal to go 2 and 3-0 to the good. And we didn't. And we got caught out on that. And that's saying that when you go 1-0 up, to get that second goal is massive, to give you that buffer. We spoke about it, we've addressed it, and that's something that we need to implement come tomorrow evening. The boys will be on it. They need to be. Fact, I won't let them come off it now. We need a win, bottom line. If we want to achieve what we want to achieve at this football club, we need a win tomorrow night. So they've been told the pressure's on. Let's ensure we go and get a result.